So we was all at this camp, and it was this lady. She was she was the instructor or something, and we was all about to get in the pool. So I went in. Every dream I have, I or yeah, every dream I have, I wind up not being able to get in the water or get in the pool and it be time's up. Like that's the hook, like that's the bait. Because I was about to get in the pool, and they said y'all only got a certain amount of time, so we got 30 minutes to get in the pool. So I forget, like my son don't have a bathing suit. I have to go buy him a bathing suit, like some shorts, and then I go in and I'm getting dressed. I'm getting into my bathing suit, and this girl comes in there and she says something about, can I have your number, because we was talking like as friends, and then I wound up giving her my number. And I guess that was against the rules or something, because the lady, the leader, I guess she was an administrator. She came in and she was like, "You, you're not supposed to be giving out your number to nobody." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She was like, "I was like, she's just my friend," and she was like, "You're not supposed to be giving out your number to nobody." I'm like, "All right." So I guess we had this room, we had cubicles, we had to go into, and basically she said, "It's time's up for the pool," and I'm like, "I just got on my bathing suit." So I wound up not going to the pool. Eventually later on, I do go into the pool though. I go in on my own, under my own terms, because y'all not about to keep, telling me, leading me on with this pool, and I'm not able to get in. So we wound up I wound up going back to my cubicle, and I'm real hungry, like everybody eating. And I guess a part of my punishment was that I could not eat. And I'm like, at the time, I was like, I guess I was taking some type of medicine. I'm like, I have to eat with my medicine. You can't just tell me I can't eat without my medicine. Like, I have to eat with my medicine. I took my medicine, so how can I eat? So they was trying to get me into the cubicle, and I'm like, I'm not going in there without eating. And I need my time in my pool. So I'm going to go in my pool. And I guess they was against it. So then there was these guys, some familiar guys that I knew, and I was just telling them what was going on, and they was trying to, work up something, kind of just negotiate with them on what was going on with me and why it was needed for me to eat and this and that. So they still not letting down, and it was another guy who was an administrator. He not letting down either, and he like, so they basically just keeping everything away from me. And then I wound up leaving. Well, he wound up telling me to come with him, so I wound up leaving with him, and it was this like big monster truck. Like this truck was was huge. It was like the size of like half of a house. So we wound up getting in his truck, and we wound up going somewhere, and it was these girl. Well, before we went there, it was this girl. Like they was basically mocking me and this and that, and through the window, I'm like, well, I was once a part of what y'all in, because they was talking about the camp, because they are inside the camp, and I guess I got dismissed from the camp. So I'm like, I was once where y'all was at, like, so, and y'all telling me like, can I do this? Can I do that? Am I able to do what y'all doing? I'm like, I was once in y'all camp until y'all kicked me out. So, like, what is you really getting at? And then we started bumping heads, and I guess my head was stronger than hers, and I wound up putting her down or in her place. And then we went to there was like this setting we went to, and I wound up having, what did they say? It was, I had something to where I basically exploded, and it was like everybody around her, they had to clean up everything that was released. So they had to go up there and they had to clean, and they like, what is this and that. So the guy that I got into the monster truck with, we wound up we wound up getting together. So we're together, and he wound up giving me these trinkets, and I'm showing them over like a video time or something. I'm showing them what he gave me, and they was like, well, that is my brand. I guess she made clothing, and it was basically a symbol of her clothing. So it was, I was sponsoring her in a way, and I didn't even know. Like the trinket that he gave me was a sponsorship towards whatever she was doing or whatever design she was making. And she was like, well, here you go. You're back in the camp. We'll come and pick you up tomorrow. I'm like, it's always something for something, but I was at the point where I didn't really need them, or I didn't really need to go into the camp, because I was making it all happen on my own. But I did really like the camp, so I was excited when they said that, they'd come get me. So, my son, well, he was like a great father figure for my son. So we wind up, like, I just threw that in there, like he was, and that's what kind of actually caught my attention about him. So then while they're cleaning up, he run me to the bathroom because I have to clean up. So he wound up helping me clean up, and he was really like, he was taking care of me. Like, so he helped me out a lot. And then after that, we went back to the setting, and it was like all of these ladies, in their wigs and stuff. They're really pretty too. Like, it's a whole bunch of pretty women, and I noticed that he kind of like, I don't know, he just, like, my head is down at the other table, but at the same time, I'm aware of what's going on. And I just, like, he kept looking at other women and not flirting with them, but kind of just encouraging them to the point where, they're coming out their shell, or they're becoming, more open to the possibility of being with him, or having some type of affair with him or something like that. He was making, them feel that way. But I was too tired. I was at the other table. My head was down. I'm like, I'm not in a position to fight with y'all. I'm not in a position to argue with him or put anybody in their place. I am exhausted. So I was over there at the other table while he encouraging all these other women. But at the same time, I'm just like, he's a good man. I don't see him really, following through with whatever he's, making them think, or however he's making them feel. Like, what is he doing it for? If he really with me and he about me, and like, what is he doing it for? So that was my thought at the end of the dream. So I'm just kind of wondering. My head is down, but at the same time, I'm wondering, like, what is you doing it for? Why are you acting this way all of a sudden? So I feel like it's just like a lot of men and stuff, no matter what you go through in life, like, no matter how much trust you got in a person, or how much a person can show you that that they care and they're there for you, once they get to a certain position of where they want to be, that's when they start showing their true colors. This man can actually be I can't think of his name, a Prince Charming, you know. And once upon a time, he wasn't that, but he is that now. And even if he was that before, it's just like, when that guy just seemed like he got all eyes for you, it's just like, wow, you know, he really cares for me, and he's really, my Prince Charming in a way. But then, like I said, when you're in a certain position, you just start to question, like, what are you doing it for? Once upon a time, you was doing it for me, but now it seems as though you're doing it for something else, and not even like to do it just to, you know, get attention. It's not even attention. It's not even a attention sort of thing. It was more so of a suspicious type, like. So that's why I didn't really bother him, or I didn't really stand up or get worked up, because he seemed as though it wasn't really for them, even though it seemed as though it's that, but it's more so of a deeper meaning. Like, it's something deeper to what he's doing, you know, towards these women. And maybe he's testing their character. Maybe, you never know. So it's just like, always keep an open mind towards any situation when it comes to your man. And especially just pay attention, because you may think that these men is really doing, like, and that's when it gives you more of a broader perspective about your relationship. You know, these men is becoming more, it's more so of, what they're doing it for, because it seems like if you're not doing it for attention, and you're not doing it for, and you're not doing it to work me up, and you know that what you're doing won't work me up to that point. It's just all about, like, hold on. Like, if you're not doing it for that, or you're not doing it to get me worked up, like, what are you really doing it for? And that's the ultimate question, ending in any relationship. I feel like it may be kind of like a trap type thing, because it's just like you're at the point where you feel like everything is so good, you know, but then they start moving weird to make you question, like, should I let this go, or should I hold on? Because the way they're moving, it's just like, it's a deeper meaning to it, and it'll make you want to stay and be curious and trying to figure it out. But at the same time, don't let no one steal your peace, and don't let no one play with your mind. And if this is a situation, that man has to be honest, and you have to be bold enough to stand up and question, like, what just happened? What is you doing? Like, I know this ain't you, but at the same time, it could be you. Because just because we spent so much time together and so much time has passed, and I feel like I know you and you know me, it takes, just as the time it takes to heal a wound or heal from any traumatizing experience that you have, that's the amount of time it takes for a real person, a person to show their true colors. Because all that time, this person or this man or this significant other could have been hiding, you know, could have been buried under so much BS, or buried under so much of what they expected, that what they thought that, buried under so much of your expectations, or what you wanted them to be, that eventually they start coming out. They start finding out who they truly are, and their true colors start showing probably like 6, 7 years down the line. And you're like, who is this person? And this person is actually them. But you never knew it. But at the same time, it doesn't really threaten your relationship with them. It just makes you more mindful of them. And this is a part where you got to just sit with yourself and reflect with yourself and ask yourself, do you want to be mindful of the situation? As much time as y'all spent together, do you trust this process with him, whatever he's going through? Do you trust the situation enough to allow your mind to go wherever this man is going? Are you strong enough? And if you're not, I would say let it go. It's time for patience, and that's basically what I got from this dream. Because the men will go to the extent, they will, because they are patient. That's one thing you got to remember at the end of the day, is that these men are very, very patient. And life is patient itself, to where, finally all of a sudden their true colors are showing 6, 7 years down the line of y'all marriage or y'all relationship. Now it's your time to say, after all that's been said and done, it wasn't what you expected. It wasn't what you thought it was. But it's not because of what y'all been through or what y'all built together. No matter what you build, life, destiny, life and destiny and fate is the true author of your experience. So whatever you put together can be undone, because that's just how life works. You're not in control, and anything that happens that you really don't understand will begin to unveil, begin to find release, finally, the truth will start coming out. So it's to a point where you can get married to somebody and you think you know this person. It's getting to a point where don't even get married to somebody until that time comes. And this is 6, 7, 8 years. Some people don't get married to 6, 7, 8 years down the line. And this is most likely why, So, yeah, that dream was just, it was a good dream to me, because it was a beautiful dream, but at the end it kind of turned like into a nightmare, because it's like, hold up, everything was so perfect, and then now all of a sudden I'm seeing you look at these other women, and you're encouraging these women, and I don't know what you're doing it for. So it was just it was a question at the end, like a question mark at the end. It was a dream, and then it was like a question mark at the end, like, hold up, what just happened? So yeah, that was my dream, and that's just a little bit of what I got out of it. I got so much more out of it as well. So yeah, maybe that'll come to mind later on, and I'll speak on that. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, be notified, share at your own free will to show you care. Bye. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Be notified, and share at your own free will to show you care.